Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, so let's take a look. Now, previously we did your Jean Bart and ranked replay at tier 9. Now we're looking at your Kamikaze replay at tier 5. Kamikaze, of course, a ridiculous ship. Falcon, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been playing warships?
Probably about 4 years now.
4 years. Okay. So you did not play at the time when Minikaze had the option for 10-kilometer torps. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can I give you a history lesson real quick then?
Yes, please.
So the Minikaze, the tech tree tier 5 Minikaze, once upon a time had two choices. It could take 10-kilometer torps or it could take the 7-kilometer torpedoes as options. Okay. Most people at the time took 10-kilometer torps because why wouldn't you? The range is so nice. Um, they released the Minikaze, or sorry, the Kamikaze R, and the Fujin. Those are the Minikaze triplets, we call them. They released those with the 7-kilometer torpedoes because, frankly, the 7-kilometer torpedo option was less popular. So the thought was, well, we'll just do a premium version of the ship. Nobody's going to care because, whatever. Then, Wargaming made a balanced change to the Minikaze. Now the Minikaze could no longer take 10-kilometer range torpedoes. They forced players to only play with the 7s. Now, the Minikaze at the time still had the ridiculous, like 5.4-kilometer concealment. So, what on paper was a nerf by removing the 10-kilometer torpedoes ended up being a massive buff to anybody who learned how to play Minikaze with those 7-kilometer torpedoes. They basically turned a whole bunch of Minikaze players into assassins, right? Now, Wargaming in their infinite wisdom, of course, changed that. And then when they made the tech tree split with the gunboat destroyers, Minikaze's characteristics changed ever so slightly. But the premium ship's characteristics could not change. As a result, Kamikaze, Kamikaze Air, and Fujin are still the ridiculous ships that they used to be way back when. There's your history lesson. So generally speaking, when you see a Kamikaze R, or a Fujin player, most of the time they are SEAL clubbing. Not to say that you are, Blue Falcon, just saying a lot of times those players are just taking advantage of the ability to assassinate ships with great concealment and great torpedoes. Alright, let's see what you got. You are running main battery mod 1, engine, boost modification, and torpedo tubes. Okay. Do you play the ship a lot, Blue Falcon?
I do. It's
Perfect.
probably my favorite DD along with the Fujin on the torpedo side of the house, tier 5.
Which is, again, one of those Minikaze triplets that I just mentioned. So, the reason I ask is you've got engine boost modification. You put that on ships that you play a lot. So if you play the ship a lot, makes sense. Commander skills. Do you have a special captain on this?
I'd have to look. I think I do. I've got one of the, yeah, I do have a special captain. I'm not sure, to be honest.
All right. So I'm gonna guess that you've got Yamamoto as your captain, because if you do, you get buffed preventative maintenance, 45% risk to modules becoming incapacitated. If you don't, then it's not a big deal. Now, there are the Suzukis that got released. I mentioned this on stream earlier with the COTS broadcast. Much like Ovechkin, you get a bonus to survivability expert. Let me hold on a second. Aha, okay. I'm looking at your replay. You're not flying the Yamamoto flag. Do you die in this one, by the way?
No, but
Ah, okay. Um, so anyways, if you're using a standard captain, preventive maintenance is good. I mean, you don't want your torpedo tubes being incapacitated. Guns, okay. Engines, okay. But it's really the torpedo tubes that are your bread and butter. You've got consumables enhancements. Helps your smoke generator. Helps your engine boost. That's fine. You've got fill the tubes. You are a torpedo spamming destroyer. Although your guns are decent. Makes perfect sense. Concealment also makes perfect sense. Into last stand, I like it. You want to keep your engines and your rudder going. Adrenaline rush, very handy. You lose your hit points and your torpedoes come back quicker. I like this a lot.
Question: what DD is this?
Kamikaze.
Hmm.
And then you've got Swift Fish, so that your torpedoes are faster. It's harder for enemies to dodge. Good. Swift in Silence allows you to relocate much quicker. Puddin', why the
Well, your torpedoes reload like fast.
Mm-hmm.
So your percentage bonus is so minuscule, you shouldn't notice it. And you're not running what is traditionally the standard. These are my first 4 picks in survivability expert.
Aha. Okay. So let's take a
The
sec.
reason I say that is, I don't care what tier you're at. One torpedo hits you anywhere, you're dead.
Okay. So survivability obviously helps you survive. That's the name. Your reload time on these torpedoes right now are 42.3 seconds. Now let's drop fill the tubes for a second. Now they go up 47. You gain about 5 seconds in reload. Okay. 5 seconds in reload could be substantial. But of course there's 350 HP bonus for survivability expert times 5. That's because it's a tier 5 ship. As Puddin says, that could help you survive a torpedo hit. So Puddin, you would rather take survivability over fill the tubes? Is that what you're telling me?
I would go with survivability expert and fill the tubes and drop AR.
Ah. Why?
You are a torpedo boat at the end of the day, and well, let's be honest, you just don't want to get shot at.
So, Adrenaline Rush, in order to obtain the same bonus that you get from fill the tubes, you basically have to lose about 50% of your health. So, yeah, at that point, it kind of hurts, right? So, fill the tubes is an automatic buff, whereas Adrenaline Rush, you have to be hit in order to utilize that. Yeah. Okay.
I can see that.
Normally, what I do, but then again, I'm an asshole.
Watch the gamer words, please.
I run nothing but RPF on all my DDs, torpedo or not.
Okay.
Right? Because my standard build is preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, concealment, RPF, then grease the gears.
Okay.
Right? I will shoot another destroyer. IGN DD guns hurt hard.
Uh-huh.
Right? I don't want to get in a long sustained fight with an enemy destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get that one player on my team that shoots the enemy DD and does 5 or 6K, I will stay in that fight to kill the other DD.
Okay.
I can torp all day long now with nobody interfering with my torpedoes.
So you would drop Swift and Silence to pick up radio location.
All right.
Swift and Silence is nice in order to relocate quickly. The thing is, at tier 5, especially if you're specifically at tier 5, the maps are smaller, so you don't necessarily need that 10% engine boost because you're going to switch sides pretty quickly anyways, right? Okay. Falcon,
I think you get way more benefit of that from like any French destroyer. Like where you're really rotating quickly.
sure. Okay. Falcon, do you have Yamamoto, sir?
Yes, I do. In fact, I am running Yamamoto on this captain.
Okay. Because Yamamoto gives you an extra 15% protection for your modules. In addition, of course, there's the bonus from Kraken. There's the bonus from getting a first kill. So Yamamoto is what I would do, and I usually do in my, Kitakaze triplets and stuff like that. Or not Kitakaze, sorry, Kamikaze triplets. Failing that, the Suzukis are worth looking into if you want a dedicated Japanese torpedo build captain, because they get that extra 50 hit points per tier to survivability expert. Now at tier 5, That's an extra 2,500 hit points.
That's a lot.
That really can add up. Cthulhu's got a good question for you, Blue Falcon. Is Yamamoto assigned to another destroyer, like permanently? Like, is he maining something else?
No, he's permanently assigned to the Kamikaze, so I'm
Okay.
taking all these hints to
Okay.
heart.
What is your what tech tree ship is your Yamamoto assigned to then?
I want to say DDs. I have him. To be honest, I pretty much play Japanese DDs. It's my favorite, and I normally play tier 5 DDs.
Okay. So the reason I bring that up is because with the commander rework, you can assign Yamamoto to a specific ship. It can be a battleship, could be a carrier for all that matters, could be a cruiser, could be a destroyer. Soon enough, it could be a sub. And then you can put him on a premium ship of a different class and just spec accordingly. So if you've got Yamamoto, for example, on a battleship like the Yamato, a lot of people do that, right? You can have Yamamoto there on a battleship and then spec him for destroyer builds like, in your Kamikaze or something like that. If he's on your tech tree Japanese destroyer, that's okay. Just keep in mind, you can utilize them for premium cruisers, premium battleships, even premium carriers at that point.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that because Yamamoto's on my shimmy.
Yamamoto's on my Kitakaze.
Yeah, like I love like so many people put him on a Yami,
Yeah.
but I don't rely on this. But I look at him as he's my superintendent. Get that first blood.
Yes. I
Right,
like using
like,
him
I-
on Kitakaze because I play Kitakaze so much in ranked and other stuff.
I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And now with the Star Kitakaze, there's another one. But in any case, Puddin, you okay if we move on to flags?
I guess. I mean, who's gonna stop you?
You, because you were saying something, so I want to give you a chance.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So Falcon's flag choice: anti-det, fire chance, fire and flood, into ship speed, into consumable reload, smoke generator time. There's only one flag that I might consider adding here, Falcon, and that is your fire extinguishing time flag. This flag comes in very handy because if you are set on a sticky fire, the fire lasts 20% less in duration, which means that bloom, because your ship's on fire, your penalty to concealment is 20% lower as well.
Got it. So I just loaded the game, guys. I'm sorry that I wasn't more prepared for the stream, but
It's okay.
I noticed that I do not have the Yamato on this this ship. It's just a standard commander. My Yamato is on the Aoba for a tech tree ship.
Yamamoto is on Aoba. Okay. All right, that's fine. Remember, you can throw Yamamoto on any premium ship that's a different class and still utilize those skills. So if you're not happy with your build for this standard captain, if we've talked through it, you can always just throw Yamamoto on the Kamikaze and then build accordingly and try different things. It's one of the nice things about the commander rework. There's a lot of opportunity for experimentation.
I mean, the other thing is if you're putting him on here, and you don't like him on the cruiser line, you just pre-train him through your destroyer.
Yep.
But my question is, how often are you sitting in smoke shooting something?
To be honest, not often unless I'm getting a spot for my guns, because I'm mostly just moving around the battlefield and launching torps and trying to contest certain areas of the map.
The reason I say that is because you picked up the captain skill for smoke, right?
You picked up
and
the flag for it, yes.
And the flag, you're wasting the flag. To be honest, if you're not sitting in that smoke, utilizing it for the entire period, you're kind of just wasting a flag on this ship for that. I don't know how secure you are in flags.
I'm pretty secure. I've been playing for a while, so I've got
Okay.
tons of flags.
Okay, good. Um,
And you know, to be honest, I just load what's standard, what's recommended. I just click
Oh,
that button and that's it on randoms.
okay. So the smoke flag is pretty expensive. So that's I think what Putin's trying to get at is, um, unless you've got a ton of them, it's better to conserve those and hold on to them.
Hmm.
All right. I've started the replay already. Apologies to you guys if you weren't ready for it, but I feel like I'm already hitting a spot that I need to talk about. And chat, maybe you guys are used to this as well. But I don't like the early use of your speed boost. You know why?
Because you might need it later. I learned that during my John Bart review. But
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
no,
Well,
there's something even worse. Like,
why?
there's an argument to be made for you getting to that cap first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost a personal preference, but there's a bigger argument on you getting out this far this early
Mm-hmm.
and the fact you haven't caught it. So there's a carrier. If there's a carrier, you have to play different. You need to stay by your team. If you get spotted out early, now you're going to have to use a smoke. Your speed boost is down, and you're
Mm-hmm.
getting shot at.
So I think what Putin is trying to say is that the engine boost gets you out in front of your team to the point where their anti-air can't help you. Right?
No, I absolutely understand that. And I think that, yeah, I totally agree with y'all.
Mm.
My idea was not to get the cap A right now, but basically to spot down the 4 column, the 4 line right now. That was my, I
Okay.
felt like that was my job.
Okay, we see a lot of players like to go up that 4 line heading towards A. So I understand the decision there. Um, if I were to be looking to do that, I might get away from this island in front of me here because that island obviously blocks some of your view. Okay. Let's continue the replay, see where it goes from here. But yeah, I like using that engine boost as a get out of jail card, no more so than get into trouble card.
I will say I'm glad to see your A is off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but his anti-air is only 1.5 kilometer range, so does it matter?
Is it? Like, oh, if it's that bad, you might as well just leave it on.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But
Now,
I mean, it's a good habit.
mm-hmm.
You know, you're getting in really deep.
Right here, I might turn
I
around
like
and
it,
head.
dude.
Well,
Oh god. Right here, I might turn around and go into the gap and turn northward because it gets you in a position to where you can run away if necessary, but also you might end up with a free cap. Look at the enemy team. They only have 2 destroyers that are gonna cap. Fujin and Isokaze, one of which is a bot. So, what are you afraid of? You know what I'm saying? Oh, look,
I
a
mean,
bot.
here's. I was gonna say if you pause it here,
Pausing again.
like,
Go ahead.
if you turn into the cap, you have 2 escape routes.
Yeah.
The 2 line back to the 4 line. Your escape route here is shit. I hope I don't sink.
Watch the camera where it's putting. I want to put this on YouTube.
Sorry. It's past 30 seconds. You'll be fine.
Thanks.
But like it's only your smoke,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other thing is without RPF, you don't know where things are. Number 2, you wanted to get out here to get the early spots. Okay, who realistically can shoot at these targets that you're spotting? So how effective is your spotting being this deep? The other
Right.
thing with the carrier, you gotta play a little bit differently in the form of let the carrier naturally spot. Most of these carriers are just their initial flights. They're gonna spot everything for you, so you can set up for a better plan of attack.
I'm getting so many flashbacks to dockyard missions that require spotting ribbons and having those ruined by carriers on my team.
God.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, hey, please sink 7 Russian cruisers, and nobody plays a Russian cruiser.
All of a sudden.
Yeah,
Yep.
I completely hear you putting on that. But you got to also take in mind that if this tier, the dispersion of those battleships and the
Sure.
other tier fives are just, I hate to use this word, are just crap. So I
Yep.
really wasn't concerned of being spotted, to be honest, because I knew keeping that range, I could avoid being hit.
And that's
Thing
fair.
I was gonna say, here's the thing you got to remember though. You have to get lucky all the time. He's just got to get lucky once.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Um,
All right.
the other thing is I would be careful, Falcon, of relying upon what you just said, because honestly, as you move up the tiers, your statement becomes less and less relevant. So I would look at it as tier 5 is an opportunity to practice the things that will keep you alive in tier 9 and 10 and beyond. And
Good habits.
bingo. So build those good habits now. And by the way, those good habits will actually translate to you dominating games, having ridiculous battles, and you're going to kick butt at tier 5 with those habits. You might lose a little bit of damage doing so, but I'll tell you what, once you figured this stuff out, I mean, it's transformational. So like right here, Isokaze is detected at A, and you're continuing to move forward. So at this point, the question is, where do you want to put your torpedoes? It's a bot Isokaze, right? So I mean, you could even just beat yourself back up and torpedo him in the face. It's a bot. Or you can keep moving south. The problem with moving south is you're going deeper into enemy territory and farther away from your teammates' guns. Again, at tier 5, that might not be a big deal. At tier 10, that's the difference between you living and dying, frankly.
You know what's another good question, right?
Is?
A battleship and a cruiser spawned on that flank with you.
The
There's a
Hawkins and
battleship.
Julio?
There's a battleship and cruiser on that enemy flank. Where's the
Where's
cruiser?
the cruiser? Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's continue the replay. Let's see what happens here. The other thing is, with this island next to you to your right, you are completely blocking your vision of what's going on to the right. So you have a high probability of being surprised by an enemy ship. 5.4 is your detection. I like the torpedoes on the Congo. The only concern is, can you be detected by him? You're turning, you're turning, you're turning. Your engine boost is up. Straighten out. You just kept yourself out of range. That's good. Holy hell, that was close. You have just welcomed the Tashkent 39 to your port. I am so sorry, Wolf. Did you not watch my games yesterday?
Trying
all I
to
can say
forget
about
those
that.
games.
Oh my god.
I added it to mine. Just gonna sit there and collect dust forever.
There you go.
Still don't know what I need to do with the other 1.5 million coal I have.
So good torpedoes, by the way, on the Congo. You're switching to widespread because you're not sure what the Isokaze is going to do. It's a bot. I can understand that. I do like the torpedoes like this. That's good. She's a co-op hunter. That's good. Oh, you just missed. Guns, dude. Guns. There you go. It's a bot. So you could actually stop and smoke. Because he shot his guns, so you don't really care what he chooses to do. You're slowing down. Okay, smoke now. Smoke now.
I think if he smokes, nobody spots him.
He shot, so he should actually still be spotted. Yeah, see, he's still spotted. Forget the torpedoes. I would just do guns here. Especially because the Isokaze's turned bow into you. You've got a very small surface area to possibly hit with your torps.
Ironically, what I would have done was torp the cruiser. And then
Junking.
Yeah.
Hey, regardless, you got the kill on the destroyer. That's good.
Your escape plan is to go into the cap.
Yeah, I know you watched my stream yesterday, Wolf. I saw you tagging me on the Warships forums, and I responded with my experience in that ship. I'll tell you, I wasn't too happy with it. Alright, look, the chunking is turning. Good. Okay, you held your torpedoes.
Yeah, it's a bot for sure.
Mm-hmm. He still bow onto you, so,
Shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot him. Your torps are in the water. It's a bot. He's just going to automatically dodge them or eat them.
And your smoke fire penalty isn't that great. You could kill him right here. Kill him! Shoot her! Too late. You're still going to get a good amount of XP out of that because you did a lot of damage. But killing a ship is like 1/5 of the XP of that ship alone. So you just gave somebody else some XP, essentially. Gary, how do you get the Tashkent for coal? They're talking about exchanging using the armory exchange coal for whatever they call it, tokens, certificates, whatever.
Whatever their currency is.
Hey, Brown. Yep. All right, you just torpedoed your Hawkins.
I would have done the same thing.
It's a Hawkins. I mean, he's gonna die no matter what. Voucher, thank you.
Well, I'm pretty sure he stole the kill on you too.
Uh-huh.
I would do one wide, one narrow.
And by the way, stealing the kill is subjective because he kind of let him have the kill too, because he didn't shoot. Detective by planes. I like your sector reinforcement. I also like backing up here because only person that can hit you is that Dante Alighieri, but he's not interested in you. Is it a bot? No, it's not. Okay.
I think these BBs are actual players.
The Dante is, he's actually in a failed div with a tier 3, so feels bad.
Is he sitting? Wait, is he just sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, stop turning your gun towards him.
He's reversing, actually.
I'm trying to get the cap right now. I got about 2 seconds.
That's fine, but I'd have my torpedo tubes ready to go. Torpedo locking tells you what the enemy ship is doing. I've got my fancy mod that tells me there's reversing, but if you don't have that mod, all you have to do is lock on him with torpedoes, and based off the white line, you can tell he's reversing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I would stick with staying on your torpedoes unless you're actively going to shoot something with your guns.
Yes.
Too many people run priority target to pay attention if a torp boat is torping them.
So in other words, if you have your guns on somebody, like right now, let's say your guns are on the Vonderton, which they are, you decide you want to torpedo him. You decide you want to torpedo him. The priority target goes from however many targeting, 1, 2, 3, whatever ships right now. It goes down 1 because now you're in torpedo mode. So he actually loses 1 person on priority target. And then when you change back to guns, it goes back up again. So if it goes 1 to 0 to 1, 2 to 1 to 2, you get the idea. What you've done is you've just telegraphed to this player, hey, I fired my torpedoes at you. Assuming they've got priority target. If they don't, well, they don't know. I don't like the decision to go out mid, though. I think you really had a good opportunity to kill the Dante, and you just kind of ran away from him.
I mean, here's the problem. The plane's spotting you, which tells every BB to get the hell away from you.
Mm-hmm.
The complete missed opportunity of at least harassing the other battleship at A means A's unspotted, B's taking the cap.
Mm-hmm.
These torps are a waste of time because unless the battleship turns in, he's probably going to turn south, and they're never going to hit. They're already out of range.
You're taking my thunder, dude.
I'm
Falcon.
sorry, I'm with GP all day.
Falcon, let me ask you this. Can your torpedoes hit this Vondertown right now?
Well, I was hoping he would turn in towards me. But as of right now, no. Their range is 7 kilometers and they cannot hit him. But you
Incorrect.
can
Actually,
see
they
my-
can hit. What you do is you look at the ship's direction. That's a line that's drawn from their bow. And then you look at your torpedoes. And if they intersect within your range, they will hit. The Vondertan can actually hit those torpedoes. They're within range. You see that? See where my mouse is pointing?
Mm-hmm.
But that is dependent on a couple of key things. As you were saying, it depends on the Vonderton continuing to move straight. If the Vonderton turns northward, your torpedoes will miss because you are firing on the white line. Like Putin said, if he turns south, those torpedoes won't hit at all. So this is what we call a low probability chance of those torpedoes hitting. I understand the decision to use those torpedoes. You have a 38-second reload. Why the hell not spam them like crazy? It's just a question of, did you accommodate for this Vondertan possibly turning northward and taking those torpedoes? And I think that's the important question here. As we're going to continue the replay, let's take a look. And this might be, by the way, the difference between using the narrow spread with the white line versus the wider spread that you're currently using. I need more dirty water. Don't tell my wife. Pardon me for a moment. Look, he turned. He turned inwards. And because he turned inwards, he dodged all of your torpedoes. You did not... You did not think about the possibility that that person may have dodged. And frankly, the difficulty with that is he's coming up on an island, so he's probably going to change course. He's not just going to plow into the island like you might be thinking about. And I think that's the key difference there. If you're in the open water and there's nothing in front of him, he's probably going to keep going straight. But because of that island, he's going to turn. So, you know, try to predict what your target is going to do. And predict a shorter clip there, figuring he's going to turn in. Even if he turns out, a shorter angle has a better probability of hitting, you know?
My question is, why did you decide to go mid in the first place?
Because I've got all the battleships on the east side of the map, and I wanted to prevent them from pushing mid. They seem like the biggest threat for the map so far. That's why I went mid, and that's where.
Go ahead, please. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that's why I went in mid, because that was the only cap we had, and I wanted to try to hold it.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. Wait.
You've been hanging around GP too much, Putin. Oh my God.
Well, they had A cap. He easily could have defended A cap, correct?
Absolutely.
A cap just got flipped, and this is prior to the decision going mid.
No, you're right, Puddin. That you're right, absolutely, because I know the outcome of this game, and that probably would have won the game right there. What you
More
just said.
importantly, that battleship died to somebody else's torpedoes. The Julius Caesar just killed a second BB at A. You possibly could have at least got one reset on the other BB.
Yep.
But the minute that BB dies, guess what you get to do?
Which BB you're talking about?
The BB that capped A.
Thank you, because
after you kill him, what's the next play?
If I was
I know
to
Dad
kill him,
sees it.
of course I see it.
Take Alpha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, you're absolutely right. I know what happens, and if I would have stayed around Alpha, I could have changed the outcome of the game for sure. I can see
What I'm
that.
saying, once that BB at A dies, or he doesn't even need to die. The obstacle that was in your way is dead. And now you get to go kill the jerk that's been dropping bombs on you, or get him killed.
Hermes.
Yeah.
By the way, that's nice if you hear say something in chat. So 2 minutes ago, about 2 minutes of in-game time ago, I commented about you leaving the A cap and letting that Alligator live. Especially at the lower tiers, you really don't want to let battleships live if you can help it, because they have this fancy consumable called Repair Party, which allows them to heal back up again. At the higher tiers, cruisers and some destroyers even have that too, to where the point is, kill everything. But at the lower tiers, killing battleships is huge. Even if you can't kill this Dante, keeping him spotted for the Giulio as he comes south of this island on the 1 line could have helped him get into a position to kill that Dante. In other words, you're working with your team in order to get that kill. It's not just you that's working here to get that kill. You're working together. You follow?
Yeah, I completely follow. And I think if I recall correctly, I was hoping that Caesar would take care of that enemy battleship in Alpha, but he did not. He completely went around the north side of the 2 island, and now he's shooting south. So
What I mean,
I'm gonna go back.
Look at the health, right? Julio's half health. He's who he's fighting is what? Is
Almost
he
at
low
10%.
or no? Oh, he's almost dead.
Yep.
He'd
So-
be dead just from you shooting his guns, getting that fire.
I want to go back to a replay that I covered, God, a week or 2 ago. Couldn't you remember the one with Grunty when he jumped in? And we continued talking about it for an hour after the replay was done, to the point where people came back, were like, what the hell?
Oh,
So-
yeah, blame the Yamato.
So, in that particular game, one of the biggest things I said is, you can control yourself, you cannot control your teammates. And this is a great example of that. You just said, I hope the Giulio will kill the Dante. You hope he will. Do you know for a fact he will? No, you don't.
No, hope is not a course of action.
Correct.
I know exactly what that Julio is going to do.
He's going to go for the carrier.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that guy's almost dead. The planes are coming over. The other guy's shooting him. I'm going to kill me a carrier.
I also paused it here because this is a crucial moment in your replay. You don't realize it right now, but it's a crucial moment. Chat, we're going to put you in the commander seat for a second. You. What should Blue Falcon do right now? What does he need to do right now to salvage his game? Put it in chat right now. What does he absolutely need to do right now to salvage his game? Patriot got it. First, 1 out of 1. Stop and reverse. You know why?
But, I mean, I actually would have gone with a different course, but then again, I'm way more aggressive than I need to be.
What I would do is I would beach myself. I would turn hard left into this island, beach back up with my torpedoes to the right. Because what you are about to do, sir, is you are about to come out in front of a Derflinger and a Congo, both of which are probably within your spotting range, your concealment range, which basically means you're going to come out right in front of them and say, hey guys, you know what I mean? Like, and if they've got nobody else to shoot, they're going to shoot at you. That's my thought.
I don't care if they have anyone else to shoot at. You see a DD 5.4 from you? I'm shooting that thing.
That's the point I'm getting at. Exactly. All right, let's take a look at what's happening. You're lining up for the torpedo salvo. Remember, 5.4 concealment.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Using the island.
And here's an example of where the island just screwed you, because the island prevented your vision on the Congo and the Derflinger until a point to where now all of a sudden they are much closer to you than you want. For a destroyer like you with really good concealment, islands are your enemy. They are not your friend. They are your enemy. You want to be out in the open because you can control what's all around you. With an island, you can't.
What I would have done is, yes, I would have came out, but I would have been slowing and smoking. Like, chat's right. The guns are already looking this way, which is why I probably would have been slowing and smoking.
Or, again, why I would have beached myself and backed up, because that, to me, that's the safest option. But, okay, slowing and smoking is fine, too.
I mean, like I said, I'm way more aggressive, right? Like, I know this. Like, I'm gonna guarantee something Like, my torps are probably going to miss the Congo and hit the other battleship.
Right. Since Miss Patriot got the answer right, I'm going to shout her out right there. Go follow her. She's a streamer as well.
I'm going to mod abuse her.
And I'm going to run Stream Raiders off stream. Okay. Let's continue the battle. Let's see what happens. You're like, oh my god, all these battleships. And you are so focused on everything in front of you. You only got one torpedo rack off. I like that you are focusing on smoking. I love that you're focusing on trying to survive. Survivability is more important than doing damage here. At the same time, ouch, at the fact that you didn't get those torpedoes off. Okay, let's continue. Now, the other thing, too, is you being detected. Look at the Congo. Are you surprised by what the Congo is doing?
Shoot him. Start shooting.
Use your guns. Hell yeah, brother. Shoot the Derflinger, too, at that point. Why not? Free damage. And Patriot, where's my love? Come on. That's not fair. Slowing and smoking fine here, but you should have been tier 6 or higher. Alright. Oh, rip your Langley. Where was your Langley? Where was your Langley? When you love pudding, it makes him squirm. Okay, I gotcha. Squirm away, pudding. Where was your Langley? Was he by the Cordoba? If that's the case, that's a huge oof. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Your Langley was at Bravo 8. Spencer Hut, the Fujin, has gone all the way up to near Bravo 8. Your Congo's in trouble. So, I hate to say it, but you need to get these kills, like now, yesterday. Can't screw around with them. So, no pressure. Oh, you beached.
But I mean, I think all of this is just, you know, failing to maintain control at A.
Yeah, if I would have had A, it would have been a different match.
Now that Cordoba is not fair because he's using a test ship even though he's in a bot.
Stupid
Right
bots
here.
are opening.
Right here, narrow spread into the Congo because you got nothing else to lose by just chucking torpedoes at him. You missed that opportunity right there. But you might get it again coming around this corner. Problem is, coming around this corner, you might get spotted again. Oh, look, the Giulio killed the carrier. I'm surprised that he spent all of his effort on the carrier and not on winning the game. Keep the Congo spotted here. He's on the other side of the island. You're not detecting him. He's not detecting you. Keep the Congo spotted. See what he does. You've got one rack of torpedoes left. Use that rack based off what he does. Instead, you're looking at the Flinger. Make minimap bigger and transparent. That helps with math awareness. That's. I mean, my minimap is almost as big as it can get. I can go one more higher.
I think most people go one lower just because it sits underneath the crosshair.
Right, that's what I did. I went one lower. Now, you're detected by the Cordoba. That's a bot.
Yep.
But you still have to respect the bot.
Well, if you're going to disrespect the bot, you have to respect the BBs that are going to shoot you.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Cordoba's going to take a bunch of torps here. Fortunately for you, he's going to die. Good. Alright, your Congo... Your Congo is probably being chased by the Fujin. He's going to go into A just because of the fact he can't go anywhere else. You go one under the crosshair. Yeah, exactly. Ah, for new players. Yeah, because most people do have their replay, their minimap like this. Good luck seeing a damn thing in that minimap.
Oh, I can see everything as clear as day.
Yeah, you can see the square.
Well, I mean,
What
is
a
it
nice
all-
square that is.
I mean, it's nothing but squares on the screen too, right? Pixels.
And some of your weirdos, some of the real weirdos in this game, have it set to automatically rotate the minimap. Oh, God. Why do you do
Look,
this?
We don't talk to those people.
No, we don't.
There's the Fujin. He just popped in.
You need to immediately turn around and go kill him. Immediately.
100%.
Yeah.
The Fujin, again, what did I say at the start of the stream, right? Anybody in a Kamikaze, Fujin Kamikaze R is seal clubbing. And again, I don't mean that against you. I'm not trying to, you know, call you a seal club, you dirty, dirty clubber. But that's the reality of warships at this point. Most people with these kinds of ships, that's exactly what they're trying to accomplish. So you need to negate that Fujin.
You see anybody in that and a Cesare, they're there to seal club.
Yep. Unfortunately, you are low at health. Look at that. Der Flinger dodged your widespread torpedoes. So that's an oof. I think that's where narrow spread would have been better. Okay, I like that you're sitting here waiting for the Der Flinger to essentially commit to going up this side. That's nice. Because he's just going to get hammered here. Remember, 2 kilometer is your guaranteed detect. You are getting very close to that 2 kilometer. There's your guaranteed, and there he is dead. Okay, cool. Alright. Time out. What, chat? What should Blue Falcon do at this point? Decision, pop quiz, hotshot. What should Blue Falcon do at this point to win the game? I'll give you until I start my Raid Shadow Legends battle. Okay, there we go. Yes! Grab a beer!
I would, but I'm being streamed, so I can't right now.
Grab a beer. Yes, go kill the Fujin. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
Even, look at that. Even the Julio is trying to tell you where the Fujin is.
Mm-hmm.
Patton says, what do you disagree with? Do you disagree with the beer, Patton? Right? Seriously. +1 for the beer idea. Seriously. I like it.
Yeah, but he should have went after the Fusion the second it was spotted.
Hell yeah. He
Right.
didn't.
Here's the thing. You go after the Fusion because you protect your B cap. You go after PR and what do you cap C while the Fusion caps B?
Patton, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, sir? In the meantime, it's 2-on-1. You going into C-cap, you're probably thinking, yes, if I go in here, I will hold the C-cap. Okay. I like that you're complimenting the Julio. The question is, how healthy is the Julio? He's detected. That should tell you that the... Oh, no. What's the problem with the Julio right now, Falcon?
He's detected.
That's part 1. What's part 2?
I don't know. I think I tell him here in a minute, do not try to push north without me.
Seal's got it. Seal's got it. He's turning in. That's the other part of the problem. If he's detected, that's okay. But he's turning northward, and now he's in a position where the Fujin can basically torp him for relative free.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing. Like, I don't blame the Juilliard for wanting to turn in. Because you have a DD that has shown he's here to PR.
There it is. Look at the torps. Oh, they ran out.
Right, like, the Fujin knows where you're at because you're capping C.
Yes. And you being in C is telling the Fujin, all right, now if I'm the Fujin, there's one place I'm going right now. Chat, where's it going?
Bravo, because in 1 minute
Bravo.
we win.
Because in a minute and a half you win. So Fujin is absolutely going to the Bravo cap to grab the cap. I understand you're looking at C as a free base cap. The problem is, you only have a minute and 20 seconds. I would not be heading towards the Julio. I'd be heading north to the C to the B cap. Head to the B cap, sir.
But you wish you had that speed boost now.
Also, here's where
Yeah.
radio location comes in handy because you know exactly where he is.
You know what's funny is Fujin's not running it.
Mm-hmm. 55 seconds. Surprised the Fujin didn't take the free B cap. Well, this is random battles after all.
He's greedy. He's already got the win.
30 seconds to go. You've got 2 caps to their 1. Is Julio still detected? You probably would have spotted him if that was the case. He's still detected. Okay. He's got to be... Oh, yeah, he's in B cap. See, he's just north of you in B.
And he's still detected. Saw the exclamation next to his name.
Yep. So... This
So
is the
that's
part...
what I was really trying to do, is just trying to find him. But now he's in Bravo because they're taking Bravo. I was like, well, it's a little too late. So.
If only there was a captain skill that would help you find him.
But more importantly, well, I mean, the torpedoes he launched at the Julio should have told you the route he was taking, which was a northerly route towards in between B and C when he dropped them. So his plan is to either turn in, possibly get caught low out, or turn out, go towards B, and cap it and get distance. Right? Like, he doesn't want to bump into you because you win the gunfight. Even if he gets the first shot off, you had the HP advantage.
Cthulhu saying, this is why I take radio location in all of my Japanese destroyers. Yeah, I mean, that demonstrates it right there. The other thing is, I mean, you know, you use a little big brain action, right? Like, what could the enemy ship be doing right now? What does he want to do? And just as you saw a free cap, so did their Fujin. It just so happens that the Fujin's free cap allows him to win the game better. So, imagine if you had gone straight to the B cap. Would have been different. Also, imagine if you would have killed that Dante. Right? We're watching the render right now.
Like here you're getting this cap. I would pause it here.
Okay. Jeez, you tell me to pause it when I'm like clicked away.
No, I'm giving you plenty of time.
Okay, paused it.
This is when you decided to go
south
into the mid. Why did you not think killing this free battleship wasn't a good idea?
I think I looked at the GC and what that battleship had health-wise, and I thought, okay, well, he's got it. I'm going to push more towards the middle and spot down the 4 or 5 line.
You wrote the Dante off. Yep.
Here's the problem with that. You're looking at just the Juilliard versus the Dante. It's the Juilliard versus the Dante, the Devon, the Izuzushi, and the carrier.
Yep.
It's 4 ships versus 1.
Yep.
Right. You're hoping that the Juilliard can kill the Dante. Then you're hoping somebody else kills the other battleship and somebody else kills the Izuchi, and then somebody else kills the Hermes. Right. So in the school of thought from SAT, you have a battleship you can kill. You have 3 battleships you can kill and the carrier right now.
Yep.
Right. On your way to getting the CV, you've got the battleship that this Juilliard should be able to spot for you. So if you get it low enough, you can smoke, shoot, get out, and deal with the other 2 BBs that are near full health. right? So it turns this engagement into the Juliar versus 4 ships to the Juliar and yourself versus 4 ships. It's still not the greatest odds. You do have a low health BB south of B, so one of these battleships should be taken out of the equation, but it's only a matter of time before your friendly battleship does die. You know, maybe you can trade off. Hopefully, the carrier comes over and starts helping you guys out. If the carrier comes over spotting things, smoke up, start shooting, drop torps.
So
You secure the A flank completely then.
Blue Falcon said he lost audio for a sec. It's okay. I think one of the biggest things is he's expecting team play, which, hey, that's a meme we can all laugh about, right? Ha 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 ha, team play. But he's expecting team play, but he's not giving team play. He's not communicating with the team. He's not communicating to the Julio, hey, you got this guy. Or do you need me to keep him spotted, right? He's not communicating, I want to go to get the ducky, right? Down to the south. He's not communicating, whoever's in B cap, hold fast, I'll get there soon. Those are the kinds of things, even at tier 5, that could help. Now, there's bots involved, but I always try to go for team play. I always try to make team play work because, hey, teamwork makes the dream work. And I'm willing to bet for the 303 people who are watching still, your SPDF came out. Oof. For the 303 people that are still watching, I'll tell you what. Most of you guys have probably can think about your best ever World of Warships game, and it's a game where your team worked together. Not necessarily a game where you just dunked on everybody and won. It's a game where everybody worked together and you felt like you made it happen. So to me, that's what I'm always looking for in World of Warships. I'm always looking for teamwork.
You know,
I like to see that
as the saying goes, actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You turn in and help the Juliard deal with the one battleship you yourself were focused on. It tells the Juliard, I'm here to support you. I literally don't have to type a single word in, right? Because I said it earlier. If I was at Juliard, I don't blame him because all I've seen from this Kamikaze is selfish gameplay. So I'm not expecting any help from him at all. If you turn in and help him with that battleship, that at least tells Juliard, I'm here, I'm helping. You don't even have to type a single word in.
I love chat's responses to that. Snob says, we talked about the fact GC is usually a clubber, so support the clubber. And then Wolf says, no, my best game was when both teams failed and I cleaned up the enemy team with 4K base. Okay, sure.
But I mean, you're in a seal clubbing destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't the seal clubbers work together?
But the thing is, I doubt Falcon is thinking that. I think Falcon is thinking, this is the ship I have, this is the ship I'm playing. I suppose.
But we all know, real
There he
quick,
is.
sorry. So
okay.
the Alligariri is heading north. My torps are not going to be good on his backside. So I know that GC is going to be able to spot that battleship. So my idea here, after I made the cap at Alpha, was to go for the Von Der battleship and try to head that off heading into Bravo.
Okay.
Because I could get torps on that. I think that's where I was thinking.
Let me play the replay here. Let's continue the render because I think
Well, I was gonna say this is where even you had said that. Put your torps on him to see what he's doing because this is the moment when he stopped and reversed.
Exactly. The Dante's pointed away, but he's actually reversing here. So if you look at the minimap real quick, sure, it looks like he's moving forward onto the one line into the Julio, but he's actually reversing. Let's hit the play. And you've left the cap. Notice the Julio, he's actually slowed down. And you're going for the Von der 10. Now, note, in this particular game, the Von der 10 is a tier 3 ship. This is a failed division. Because normally a tier 3 cannot run into a tier 5. So you're choosing to abandon a ship that's, as in a sense, at your matchmaking tier to go beat up a ship that has no business being there, frankly. And I mean, hey, once upon a time, there was no limit. You could have an Eerie at tier 10, and we would all beat the Eerie up and say, welcome to tier 10, you dumb. But
Your
look at
decision to go to B. Like,
look at what's happening at A.
I say going after the tier 3 battleship, whatever, it's getting guns off the board.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have the decision to stay at A and deal with that situation.
That's right. That's right. Now, you leaving A, let's back up and... Guys, this is going to look like crap. But let's back up. And let's look at this again, and let's focus only on the A cap. Right? Now, let's assume that you went into A instead. What would that difference be?
I think the game, hindsight, it would have been the game.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you get a torpedo than the Dante. Maybe not. But the point I'm getting at is, at the very least, you're keeping the Dante spotted. Because at this point here, you're detected. And then you're not detected. And then you're like, see ya! And you just leave. Which, hey, I get. It's a tier 4 battleship against a tier 5. And frankly, a Giulio is more like a tier 5 plus. Right? It's a tier 5.5. You're expecting him to beat the Dante. But the Dante doesn't play his game. And the Giulio is not playing the game that's happening in your mind. The Giulio is stopped trying to shoot at the Von der Tann across the map. So what happens? The Dante, smartly, because the Dante doesn't want to die to the Giulio, look at him. He turns...
and uses the island for protection, absolutely.
And that's what you would do if you were in the Dante's perspective, right? And he goes into A. And the Giulio wants to kill the Dante, but he can't because this darned Isuzuchi just happens to be right there. And you're nowhere near to help him. Who's helping him at this point? Ad break. Gotcha. Who's helping at this point? Nobody. Congo, maybe, but the Congo is so far away. Your shells aren't going to hit, or Congo shells aren't going to hit, right? So you're expecting this Giulio now to fight the Isuzuchi. Then after getting this kill, go kill the Dante. Then after getting that kill, go kill the Von der Tann. Then after that, kill the carrier. It could happen if his name is Optimus Prime. Beyond that, I just don't know how it's going to happen. This is a great replay, by the way. Thank you for sending it in because it gives us so much insight into like kind of like the lower tier player perspective, which I've been desperately needing. So, and it's also a loss, which we need. But there's where you came out in front of those two battleships too. By the way, when a battleship sees you, instinctively they're going to turn away and run, right? So your entire torpedo threat is negated by that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's part of why I think your best island option there was to crash the island, reverse, smoke if you needed to, but, you know, getting into that position to do that. And the Giulio does have to kill the destroyer at the end, too. That's right, Wolf.
I mean, the other thing at this point, the carrier just died.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows the health pool of that Fujin. Drop your torps, kill this cruiser, get up north, and find a DD.
Yep. Snob says, I don't like seeing people leave the flank until it's won, both cap and ship. True. Look how low that Fujin was.
That's a very good point. Don't leave the flank till it's won. Yeah.
Alexa, you're welcome. Falcon, I appreciate that you're like so willing to learn about this and talk through it. And by the way, we're not right on everything that we say, so you know, you're more than welcome to hold your ground and say, now hold on a second. But it's nice to look at it from another perspective. It really is.
I think the thing you have to remember is not what do I need to do to win? What does the enemy need to do to win?
Yes.
Right. Going to C is, well, I need to cap C to win, while the Fujin's thinking, I need to live to win. So if you can take away the enemy's need to win
Mm-hmm.
or condition to win equals that's what I need to do to win. Right. And like, yeah, I make the comment all the time. It's 1v23. There's just 11 idiots I can't shoot. But actions speak louder than words. If you're willing to help support the Julier deal with the battleships that were at A, right? Granted, the red team's probably going to be pushing into B, but A is completely secured. Well, I say completely, but nobody knows where the Fujin's at and where he showed up. Whatever, A's in trouble. But we don't know what course of action the Fujin takes after he kills the Langley.
Right.
If he starts losing battleships in C, I mean, going into B, because you cleaned up A that much faster.
No, you're absolutely right.
Just the threat of you being there dropping torps is these BBs don't want to push into you. Right? You can use the reputation of the ship against the enemy. I do it in California all the time. Right? I even when I play my Kamiar, people don't want to push into me, which means, yeah, I'll be a little bit more aggressive. And until I get about half health, then I'll go back to more traditional. But now they have to be where am I? Are they gonna beg their DDs to come spot me to kill me? Are they gonna beg the carrier to spot me so they can shoot me? That's helping the team.
Right. Are y'all cool if we moved on from here?
Oh, we can go for another 4 hours.